Hello, this is Kirsten Beers, and I'm just doing my observation script for the scripted coaching assignment, and I'm doing the secondary reading instruction video. I watched the 6th grade vocabulary instruction, and I'll just start with my introductions as the coach. I would say good afternoon. I'm excited to observe your lesson today on vocabulary instruction. And the teacher could say, thanks for coming in, and I'm looking forward to learning new strategies to improve my instruction. And as the coach, I will be observing and taking notes on your lesson. I plan to focus on your use of instructional strategies such as modeling, questioning, and guided practice. So just starting off with the time-stamped observations. In 15 seconds, I observed that the lesson started off by taking words that they have learned to pronounce and are diving right into them. And the first word to define was allude, and they used it as an example sentence to put the word in context. And into minute and 120 of the lesson, the teacher noticed her own mistake in her example sentence, and this gave opportunity to make real-life connections. Even teachers make mistakes. And 2 minutes in, she gave examples of allude and had them answer yes or no questions, which checked for understanding. In 2:55, she had them do a turn and talk with a partner to have students discuss how the word allude may be used in the story they are about to read. At minute 3:30, she had students share their ideas to the class, and she supported them with their ideas. And at minute 4:18, she had students put the definition in their notebooks in their own words. The thought that came to mind as observing is, does she give all learners adequate time? A comment is given that she would like to have them take notes as quickly as possible so they can keep moving on. Does this accommodate students who have special needs or need more processing time or are dual language learners? At minute 5:17, a person knocked on the door and she was able to use the word allude in a real life example to show the students what it really meant. In minute 6:08, she introduced new vocabulary word intention and has students read the word in definition with her. In minute 7:20, she gives examples and asks students yes or no questions once again to check for understanding. In minute 8:12, students add vocabulary words in their journal again, and they add it in their own words. So, post-observation, as a coach, I would say let's discuss my observations I made during your lesson today. You provided some kid-friendly definitions and it did a nice turn and talk with the partners so students had a chance to share their ideas. I saw evidence of students getting a chance to check their understanding by having them write their definition down in their own words. When students do this, it came to mind that you may have students that are struggling with reading and writing even at this level. I would encourage you to sit down and think of ways you can reach these students at this level. Some students have not yet mastered decoding and may need more guidance on recognizing more rich and robust vocabulary. The teacher could respond with, thank you, I really enjoy giving my students chances to share their ideas with their peers. It is one way I can check for understanding, and it gives me a chance to give them feedback. In the subject of reaching all learners, I do take this in consideration. I provide explicit and systematic instruction during small group time. This is really important because it gives me the opportunity to take the words that we learn in our whole group lesson and break them down into parts and put them into context in order to provide a deeper understanding of their meaning. The coach could say, that is great. I love how you give them that opportunity. I'm glad you mentioned that, as I wasn't able to notice that in the whole group lesson. The coach could also say, I noticed there was not as much opportunity to reach students who are multilingual learners in your class. I noticed that you push your students to speed up and get their work done quickly. That isn't always a bad thing. It's very common for teachers to want to keep the pace of the lesson moving. However, I can't help to think of how your students who are multilingual learners are keeping up with this pace. What would be a good strategy for you to use in order to ensure that they are learning the vocabulary effectively and are getting the adequate time to learn? The teacher could say, oh, I didn't think of this, but reflection, I could use more visuals because I know that's very effective for multilingual learners. That could help the students who are language learners so they can make deeper connections to the meaning of the vocab words. Perhaps you are right. I have noticed some of my language learners do tend to be the students that need more time. I could modify this area of my lessons by giving them more sentence stems that would help them get started to help them be more successful. For example, I could give them a starter sentence like, this word allows me to feel this way. You know, just giving them that fill in the blank opportunity so they didn't have to do so much thinking with the fact that they have some roadblocks in their vocabulary with their language learning adventure that they're on. So, an action plan that I came up with as a coach is these are all great ideas. Let's make this your focus for your next vocabulary lesson. Think of ways you can implement more visuals and other strategies that would benefit your language learners. Before the end of this meeting today, let's set up a follow-up meeting to further discuss your progress in this area. Let's give you about a week to implement these strategies and to give yourself a chance to put this into your instruction. I'm looking forward to seeing how this will help you reach all learners so they feel successful.